So, Rachel Maddow over at MSNBC, or as I like to call her, Discount Jamie Lee Curtis. We all know there's a lot of disasters going on right now within the woke media. There's a lot of ratings disasters, a lot of financial situations going on, whether it's through MSNBC, CNN, ABC. Focusing on Rachel, though, there's been a lot of things going on. She only continues to make things worse for herself in light of the ratings disaster and everything to do with her losing millions upon millions of viewers over time, especially within the past 2 to 3 months, and her also getting a pay cut, similar to Joy Reid's situation in Sunny Hostin's scenario. Interestingly enough, Rachel continues to actually dig herself into a deeper hole. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So we all know that she is by far one of the more insufferable correspondents out there on live television, if you even want to call her a correspondent at this point. After Joy Reid really said some of the most crazy things out there in her entire career, I think at this point Rachel is dethroning her on that. So let's get into this, shall we? Now, one thing about Rachel Maddow is that she really is by far one of the most unhinged personalities on live television, alright? She will say whatever she has to say about LGBTQ, about DEI, about everything related to that, and, well, she basically went back to that after weeks of being silent on those issues. Let's jump into this. Now, one thing about Rachel Maddow is that we all have to realize that I think it's going to be a very interesting year, 2025, based on what she's going to continue to say. Now, with the entire woke media now falling apart with no resolution in sight due to the extreme public backlash and pushback, one major development now involves more to do with Rachel of MSNBC, of what she recently had to deliver just 6 days before January 20th, after her very own ratings disaster and pay cut happening at the network. She stated the following: "As a woman who comes from the LGBTQ community, I think our greatest fear about what's going to take place on January 20th is what comes with the new presidency and just how vile and toxic it's going to be toward the LGBTQ community, which I strongly support and I'm proudly a part of. We have one whole side of the country that wants to silence our voice and our significance, whether it's in film or television or in the media. They want to point the finger at us and say that we don't belong on television or that we don't deserve the right amount of pay. And I have experienced this firsthand. This is why DEI needs, and I mean needs, to remain intact at all organizations and corporations. Not just some, but all. It needs to stay relevant in order to bring a sense of normalcy to society. The incoming president will be disastrous toward our community. He will be reckless with our support of all those that deserve to be heard on many different platforms out there." And this is just a warning to all as part of this community that hard times are coming. The president wants to claim that we here at MSNBC put out lies and false narratives. He should look at himself in the mirror and realize that he said, and what he said in the past 3 months, nothing but pure lies, all to get elected, and everyone in this country is falling for it. Well, not everyone. Those that are sane, that get with the program and really know what's going on here. DEI and LGBTQ should really be at the forefront of every corporation, organization, or network. It's just as important as creativity, merit, and professionalism. But I will like to put the latter below for what should be treated as the priority. We are now in a world where the American people are celebrating correspondents like myself that are losing viewers based on false narratives spreading throughout social media that makes us look like we are in the wrong. So, look, here's another thing I want to say about Rachel Maddow before I move on. She goes on to go about playing the victim card, right? Saying that basically it's all lies. Everything that they said on live television was really taken out of context, blah, 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 right? And how she's now blaming it on social media, she's blaming it on platforms out there like X, and how Elon Musk is really improving the platform and really welcoming free expression. That's exactly why a lot of these correspondents, a lot of these actors are leaving the X platform, because they really can't deal with the truth. You can't handle the truth, right? So Rachel, I think, really is beginning to get even more unhinged than Joy Reid. I mean, I've said for the longest time they are unhinged equally, but at this point, it's sounding more and more like Rachel is beginning to really, really go out of line. Now, I think that you're going to see more coping behavior come January 20th, especially post January 20th. As we go into February after that, you're going to see a lot of these correspondents going off more and more, making up more lies. And that's going to be the very beginning, I think, of the legacy media truly taking a sharp, sharp decline, where more people are going to flood over to X or to other platforms or podcasts. You're going to see more of that moving on. Now, Rachel yet again makes things worse by doubling down on the following. She goes on to state again, and I don't care what network you are at. If you are a woman, especially a woman within the LGBTQ community, I think you deserve to be the priority regardless if you lack merit or creativity. We have to give these people a voice, and come January 20th, that's all going to end. I think it's going to make things more difficult, especially for me, that's for sure. And it shouldn't be that way. It's 2025 now, and one would think or believe that DEI will be respected, not ignored, not abolished or disregarded, but celebrated and welcomed. This is what we need to stand for, so I ask everyone to take a stand with us here at MSNBC, and those that have followed me throughout the years, because it's going to be an angry roller coaster for 4 years. Interesting how she calls it. It's going to be an angry roller coaster there for 4 years. Now look, let's go back a little bit here. Now Rachel really, really says the most crazy things. I mean, this is nothing new. It's nothing really all that shocking, but I think that this really hits a new level based on what she's saying. The fact that she really went out of line to say that DEI should be the priority, no matter if you lack merit or creativity or professionalism or any of those things, that basically LGBTQ or DEI should really be the priority above all else, above merit. That really is pure crazy talk, alright? That is complete lunacy, and it's exactly why these networks and the ratings that come along with them are just lacking terribly. That's why the studio executives, the studio heads over there, the CEOs of these networks and these programs are really losing it. They are going into full-on panic mode. That's why they went through with these pay cuts for Rachel, for Joy, and when it comes down to ABC's, situation when it comes to Sunny Hostin. So it's a continuing piece of drama that's been going on within the media, and I think that you're going to see more behavior like this coming from different correspondents. I could only hope for a day, honestly, where MSNBC is bought out by someone like Elon Musk. We know it right now. It's up for grabs. We know that basically they're trying to, do something new with the network. They want to actually bring in a new ownership. That's something that's on the table right now. We'll have to wait and see where that all goes, what the time span's going to be like for that. I think it would be incredible if Elon took over. That's just my 2 cents. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about Rachel below in the comments. What do you guys think about Rachel Maddow over at MSNBC? And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.